Today I'm looking at this CILOA chronograph, which is a homage of the Brew Metric. As usual, I'll be leaving a link for this watch in the video description below. Let's get into the review. Just quickly before we get into the review, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel as it really helps. Thank you. So this is the CILOA Brew chronograph homage. It comes in three colors: pale green, blue and the red dial, which is what I've gone for here. So let's take a closer look at this case. I don't believe it is a stainless steel case. It's been finished with a sort of blasted finish. It's okay, it's a bit rough in some areas and it's been scratched in some areas, but for £50 you can't expect too much. You can see we have an unsigned, highly polished crown, and the top chronograph pusher has been finished in gloss black. The watch does feature a sapphire crystal with some levels of anti-reflective coating, but as you can see here, it is still quite reflective. The case is an advertised 37mm with a thickness of 11mm and a strap width of 17mm. Now let's take a closer look at this dial, because let's face it, this is the biggest selling point of this watch. So as you can see, I went for the red dial variation. It has a radial wave pattern coming from that 3 o'clock subdial, which is the 24-hour subdial. You have the minute subdial on the left, and then you have the chronograph seconds at the bottom there at 6 o'clock. So this watch has been finished with C3 lume, has been applied to the hour markers and the hands. However, it has been applied very thinly. I'll put up a lume shot here. As you can see, it fades very quickly on the hour markers and it's not great on the hands either. This is a cheap watch and you can tell with the lume it fades very quickly. So the hands have been finished with a bright yellow tip, which kind of matches the 24-hour subdial. The seconds hand has been finished with a white lollipop counterweight with a middle section there which matches the dial, and the baby blue tip which matches the minute markers on the chapter ring going around the outside there. You have a seconds and minute track going around the edge of the dial, which has been finished in the same red as the dial itself. You have the date window there sandwiched in between the 4 and 5 o'clock hour marker. So taking a look at the bracelet, it's been finished pretty roughly. It features a double pusher deployment butterfly clasp, which works fine. There's not much articulation in the bracelet itself. It's okay, it's pretty rough and it's pretty light and jangly, but like I said, it's a £50 watch. It's not going to be an amazing bracelet. But let's take a look at this watch on my wrist. So here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. Due to the slimness, it does sit on the wrist quite nicely, and the case size of 37mm works really well. I think this is one of those watches where you buy something extra special for a special occasion, or say if you want to match your watch to some trainers, say you've got some red trainers and you want a red watch to match it just for a one-off occasion. As the build quality isn't great, it's not something necessarily I'd wear a lot, maybe just on the odd occasion. But here it is outside. You can see the Sapphire Crystal shines really nicely there. But in general, I think this is a good little watch, but due to the cheapness, it's not fantastic. Like I said, it might be a cool little beta watch or just to wear as a one-off to match an item of clothing. But let me know what you think, guys. I will leave a link for this watch in the video description below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.